We're about halfway through the year. And because we're halfway through the year, I want to share the biggest mistakes and the biggest fuck ups I've had in my business so far. This cost me like real dollars, like real money. These were actual mistakes that cost my bank account. So the first big mistake that I made this year was having shitty attention to detail. So I was in a pretty deep conversation, a pretty deep sales conversation with this prospect. And when I tell you, this guy would have been a dream client. He had a great business. He understood his market. He wanted to push on content. He was just a perfect person to work with. And we're getting deeper and deeper into the conversation. And let's call this guy Dane. And I mistakenly called him Dan. That was the end of the sale. That was it. The guy hit me back like, get my fucking name right, mate. Couldn't recover from there. He was genuinely pissed off that I butchered his name. Now, for me, if somebody called me Daniel Damien or Dequavius, no racism, I wouldn't give a shit. But to him, it was important. But the lesson there is that having attention to detail and looking at the minutiae and the things that are small actually are important. I don't know if I was going to close this guy. What I do know is that my odds of closing him went to a grand total of 0, literally 0, when I butchered his name. And the most important thing is, people will notice. People will notice. You think they won't. You're like, oh, they won't notice. It won't matter. I promise you. You are being watched. Your prospective clients, your staff, like I've got a small team now. You are being watched. So make sure you bring your A game. And the next big mistake that I've made in 2025, bloody hell, this one is probably the most painful one for me to learn because this definitely impacted my ability to sign as many clients as I wanted at my bank account. A shitty process is better than no process. So, you know, I love to tell stories. Let me tell you a fucking story. So the way that my sales process, my failure of a sales process was working was that I was getting clients in the pipeline, doing some free work for them and then selling them on the back end. But the way that I was doing that was so disjointed. There was no deadlines, there was no dates. As a result, trying to iron down the content, trying to iron down the deliverables was literally impossible. And when I would speak to more seasoned business owners, they'd be like, oh, dude, you have no sales process. Your sales process sucks. And I was like, huh? They were like, bro, like your sales process is shit. And it was shit. I love analogies. I love comparisons in life. So working out, as you can tell, I've been working out for a while. Every video I've got to flex on you niggas. You niggas need to know. Anyways, when I go into the gym and I see somebody's workout plans, I can immediately tell that they have no process. They have no plan. And if they just went to ChatGPT or the internet and came up with a shitty workout plan, like what's a shit workout plan? Full body workouts, right? Fucking rubbish. You're not gonna build any goddamn muscle doing full body workouts, but just having a process and a plan that you follow step by step will still put you in better stead than someone that's randomly doing exercises. Whether it's hiring someone, firing someone, sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's shooting content, having a semblance of a process, just some skeleton that you can follow will make things so much easier, collect your thoughts, and will just keep you to your fucking deadlines. God damn. I'm gonna keep it 100. It's easily cost me 4 clients. 4 clients on good retainers. Easily cost me 4 clients. Like, that's a lot of money. That's an expensive mistake. So, and please, for the love of Bumba Clark, like, just create some semblance of a process. I promise you, it will put you in good stead, my nigga. And the very last thing the very last mistake, I should say, that I've made in 2025 is not understanding what's moving the needle. Now, this definitely does come down to being new in business and trying to figure things out. But I also think there's a wider, how do I phrase it? I think there's a wider perspective shift that I've had to have in order to learn this. So to give you some context, I am West Indian, okay? I'm from the West Indies, I'm from South America. And in the West Indies, there's a culture of hard work, which I absolutely love, okay? My mum is a lawyer, my dad's a lawyer, my brother's a doctor, and my sister's a doctor. And I'm a fucking bum. So you can tell that working hard and grinding was something that was pushed as children. And it's something that I hold dear to me. I love the fact that I'm a hard worker. But just because you're working hard doesn't mean you're actually moving the needle. The amount of times that I have been blindly working, grinding like a motherfucker. If I had taken the time to understand what actually will push me forward, I would have made so much more progress. And the issue is that I was trying to solve all these problems at once. I was like, oh, it could be lead gen, let me do this. It could be onboarding, let me do this. It could be sales, let me do this. Which is quite literally running around like a headless chicken. Whereas if I had taken the time and gone, okay, this is the problem. The problem appears to be operations. We don't have enough people for the amount of client fulfillment. Let's solve this problem. Then you can continue to grow and then you can move to the next problem. And this was such a painful mistake for me because I think that the issue is that I delude myself in thinking hard work is progress, and it's just not. And I don't want you, if you are a hard worker, if you're the person who's gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and work like their fucking life depends on it, firstly, I salute you and I love that. But don't fall into that trap like I have. Don't fall into the trap of constantly working, thinking you're moving forward, and you're just not. The next thing you need to do is watch this video, okay? Watch this video here. This video is absolutely ridiculous. The cinematics, the storytelling, everything. Watch this video, okay? It's my favorite video for a reason. It's gonna be your favorite video after you watch it, and everybody's gonna love it, okay? Don't you dare skip another video and watch TikTok videos. You're gonna watch this fucking video right now. Okay, I'll see you for the next one. Bye.